Welcome back. Today's explainer is diving straight into an event that's already sending absolute shockwaves around the globe, the 2026 World Cup over in North America. We're not just throwing out your standard tournament predictions here, okay? We're actually dissecting the raw data, the players' stats, and some wild historical precedents to show you exactly why 2026 is shaping up to be this massive, monumental inflection point in sports history. So, let's get right into the outlook.
Okay, let's dive into this. The overarching theme of this whole tournament can honestly be summed up perfectly in one phrase: a historic clash of generations across North America. I really want you to focus on that word, clash, because we've got this firmly established old guard who are absolutely refusing to step down, and they are colliding head-on with an incoming tidal wave of new talent that is just incredibly hungry to take over. It's a kind of narrative tension we literally almost never see aligned so perfectly on a single global stage.
Which brings us to Section 1, the veteran legends and pushing the boundaries of longevity.
6. I really want to let the sheer magnitude of that digit sink in for a second. A record-breaking 6th World Cup appearance means someone has maintained world-class elite performance across more than 2 decades of the most grueling sports competition on the planet. I mean, think about it. It requires a level of physical preservation, tactical evolution, and just sheer mental endurance that is pretty much entirely unprecedented in the modern game.
And that magic number 6? It belongs directly to Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. The fact that they might return in 2026 is definitely not just some ceremonial victory lap, you know? It's an absolute defiance of standard athletic lifespans. We are literally watching the two defining figures of the modern era push their incredible intertwined legacies into completely uncharted territory. They aren't just holding on, they are rewriting the rulebook on how long peak global relevance can actually last.
Moving to Section 2. The defending champion, and the mission to retain the crown.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it defines Kylian Mbappe's specific super high-stakes mission, the Golden Boot defense. After that staggering 8-goal masterclass he put on back in 2022, Mbappe is basically bridging the gap between eras. Defending that boot isn't just about padding his stats with more goals. It's about cementing his status as the undisputed apex predator of global soccer right now. He's simultaneously fending off those iconic legends of the past while holding back the explosive challengers of the future, all to prove that, yes, this is still very much his era.
All right, Section 3, the new challenger, entering the global arena.
You cannot talk about 2026 without talking about Erling Haaland's tournament debut. It's a massive, massive tentpole of this whole outlook. After years of just tearing up club soccer with terrifying efficiency, he is finally stepping onto the stage where the biggest global legacies are forged. The sheer challenge of carrying the Norwegian national team has delayed this exact moment, which honestly just makes the anticipation that much crazier. This fresh, untested arrival on the World Cup stage is the perfect, explosive counterbalance to those established giants who've owned the arena for decades.
And that leads us right into Section 4, the ultimate generational clash, when eras collide.
And this brilliantly illustrates the core dynamic at play here. On one side, you have the immense weight of history and literally decades of experience staring down raw, unwritten potential on the other. It's the undisputed legends directly facing the ascendant rookie. This isn't just a fun matchup on paper. It's the literal embodiment of eras colliding on a single playing field. It really highlights that massive chasm in experience and the sheer unstoppable force it's going to take to bridge it. When you stack all the 2026 stakes up like this, the momentum is just undeniable. Think about it. You have Messi and Ronaldo both pushing for a seemingly impossible 6th appearance. You've got Mbappe fiercely defending his Golden Boot territory, and then you have Haaland finally unleashing his power on the ultimate stage. The sheer scale and density of elite, narrative-shifting talent converging at the exact same time is frankly entirely unprecedented. Every single one of these storylines could define a tournament completely on its own, yet we get to see them all happen at once.
So, all of this leaves us with a final burning question. Who is actually going to define this historic clash of generations? Will the sheer longevity and tactical genius of the veterans win out one last time? Will the reigning champion fiercely defend his crown, or is the debutant going to steal the show and ruthlessly announce a brand new era? The battle lines are officially drawn. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, and I'll see you next time.